Mental health is a huge topic in today's society. There's so much to understand about it, and it remains one of humanity's greatest challenges. In this session, we'll explore it from a divine perspective. What can we do when the mind won't stop racing from overthinking? How does psychiatric medicine affect not just the brain, but the energy body? What is the future of mental health? What's the reason for the judgment around mental health, both in society and in spiritual communities? Let's open today's Q&A with this question. What can we do if we have an overthinking mind?
Accept it. The thing is, you can have a loud mind that you accept, and then that makes you just the observer. It's like you're watching 5,000 thoughts per second, and you can't do anything about it, and you surrender it to us. As in divine, if you want to stop it now, you do. If you don't, it's okay, and you need to have conviction that it'll eventually become quiet. But what you do is you start to judge these thoughts. Why am I like this? Why can't I stop it? What's wrong with me? I have a problem. It's actually not the thoughts that's bothering you as much as the judgment of the thoughts. Judgment of the self that comes because of overthinking. You accept this part of you. Is it aligned? It's a misaligned part of you, but you can't shift it by judging it. It's like if you see a child that's struggling and you judge this child and you punish this child in hopes that they'll become more aligned. They will not become more aligned. But if you see something misaligned and you show it love, and you accept it, and you tell them, "You're perfect anyway," then what happens? The energy is transmuted.
Psychiatric medicine can ease the mental noise and overthinking, yet it also influences the energy body. From a divine perspective, how can we navigate or balance this impact?
So in general, it can affect your energy system depending on a number of factors. For example, if you're already someone that has a lot of debris and, let's say, has an aura that has a lot of openings or loopholes, then you can say that medication, especially if it is a very strong medication, not something light. If it's very strong, and the higher the dosage, what happens is that sometimes these openings become even larger, depending on the medication that's being taken and the dosage. But if there's already a lot of debris in your system, especially in the aura, it can cause even more openings. So you become even more vulnerable energetically. That's why, when people start to take medication, we ask them to visualize a spindle of golden light around them. It's just for this, the energetic protection of the aura. And over time, if someone continues medication over a prolonged period of time, we're talking 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, it does cause, you can say, complacency. In the sense that some parts of the energy body, let's say certain chakras, have already certain dents. Or, like we spoke about earlier, let's say an energetic scar, which of course can be reversed in channel. But let's say that this person doesn't know how to channel and is not aware of how to heal their energy body. Then what happens is that the chakras become complacent. So whatever these energetic scars are, they remain as they are over this period of time. So you can say that certain medication over time can repress your energies such that nothing much happens with the chakras. That's why, if you notice people who are dependent on medication, it's not that they're severely misaligned, because the medication can control some of their experiences or reactions, but it's that they become complacent. So expansion is almost inexistent in their lives. The chakras remain as they are for a long period of time, not experiencing. It's like they're repressed, like something stopped them from expanding. It's as if there are walls around them. But does it shrink so much? No. But it's also complacent. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. So, is that an orchestration of their life that they won't expand?
It could be, depends. So it could be that it's part of the constellation of their lives, even parts of their most magnificent possibility, that they need to experience that for a specific reason that will eventually lead to expansion. But it could also be that it's a detour from the most magnificent possibility, that someone decides, someone knows that there's a better way to live, for example, in their lives. They are aware that they have other options, but they just don't want to take them. They decide, I don't want to do anything. I'm just going to take pills. So it could also be that someone decides, I want to take a detour. It's not always part of the most magnificent possibility for an individual's experience in this lifetime. Depends on the journey. Then maybe they decided because of their traumas, so it becomes like a loop. Like they don't want to change, because they have the trauma from their past. So it's impossible for them to get out of that loop. No. You can say for the people that feel helpless, and like they have no other option, then it most likely means they have no other option, and it's part of their most magnificent possibility. But there are people who choose to take medication because they just feel like, whatever, this is an easier way out. I don't want to do anything about it. I don't want to go for therapy. I don't want to learn anything. I don't want to reflect. I just want to numb myself. So those people, in their experience at least, they feel like they made the conscious decision, and they were not forced to do it or pushed to do it. And with those people, we would say that they're detouring. But for the ones that feel helpless and they have no other option, then it is most likely part of their constellation of existence.
Divine, what is the future of mental health care in humanity?
A lot will change. The first thing that will happen is the understanding that there isn't a hierarchy. So in the sense that when you are a psychologist or a therapist or a counselor, whatever it is, but you are the person that is offering a service to help others heal. The first shift that's going to happen is that the person that is offering healing services or therapy, etc., there will be an awareness that any client that comes in, or patient, whatever label is used, is a mirror of their own limiting beliefs and debris as well. So the hierarchy is the first thing that is going to be removed from the system. It's happening already in a very gradual way. Of course, it's not being advertised that way. And a lot of the times in the dynamic of a therapy session, as an example, there is a bit of a hierarchy. But a lot of therapists right now actually sit and reflect after their sessions about what it is about this session that triggered something in them or that they resonate with. So that's the first thing that will shift. The hierarchy part. The second thing that will shift is that they will both start to help. Not all the time, but in general. There'll be a lot of people that come to a therapist, and there'll be like a give and take in the session. Of course, a lot of other things will shift, but that's one major thing, and that's what we would say is in the timeline of shifts. That's something that's coming relatively soon.
There's so much judgment around mental health, both in society and even in spiritual communities. Why is that, and what's the deeper purpose behind it? And why, especially in spiritual circles, is there often resistance to medical treatments, as if only inner work or natural medicine is the right path?
So, what we would say is this goes down to perspective and resonance. There are people that don't resonate with medication. Does that mean that it is right or wrong? No, it's just they don't resonate with it. But from a divine perspective, in alignment and in neutral states, there is no judgment of what is right or wrong. The person who is in alignment will actually not judge medication because they'll have an awareness that although they don't resonate with this medication, there are people that do resonate, and that everything in creation serves purpose. If it doesn't serve you, that's okay, but it definitely serves another, and one who's consciously aware of divine and the vastness of divine and divine perspective will hold this neutral stance. But if they have an aversion towards it, then that's misalignment. You don't need to resonate. You don't need to use it. But having an aversion means that's a sign of misalignment. And what we would say is, these are just pockets of people that feel that way, and it's because they found other ways that resonate with them, and now they want other people to witness what they witnessed. But this is, again, a limited perspective, because people have different journeys, people have different vibrational cocktails that they resonate with, and everything in creation is there for a purpose. It can't be neglected, and it shouldn't be neglected. If there was no use of medication, we would not allow for it to exist, but it provides an avenue or an opportunity to witness divine. And what we would say is a lot of these people start often that way, with having an aversion, and then over time they open up to this possibility that it's okay to use the medication. And even if they're still not fully comfortable with it, there's an opening. And over time, they'll find that they have a very neutral stance towards it, and that's an aligned state. When they don't need it, they don't take it. When they need it, they take it. It's simple. It's like when you know you're very sick, very ill, and you need to see the doctor, you go see the doctor. But when you're feeling okay, and you can help yourself at home with whatever disease or discomfort you feel, and you don't need to see the doctor, does it mean that you suddenly have an aversion towards doctors? No. Hold a neutral stance. You understand that they're there for a reason, and when you need them, you'll see them. When you don't, you don't. But it doesn't come with an aversion. And neither does it come with an extreme attachment, like, I can't find any other solution in this life except through doctors and hospitals. It's that everything in creation has its place, has its role, and you're in alignment, you're aware of that, and you're not swayed by aversions or attachments. You make use of parts of divine creation or the resources that are available to you in this world when you need them, and for the purpose of helping you witness divine. So if you're in a state where you're aware that if you don't make use of medication, your witnessing of divinity may be affected, then of course you use medication. But if it makes no difference, then you don't need to use it. See? It's the same as, for example, someone thinks, oh, I want to have a partner. But then you can want to have a partner through two different vibrations. One is that you want to waste time or pass time and just have fun, and we hold no judgment with that. But it's that doesn't really open the door to witnessing divine, because you're not allowing yourself to be seen, or even having the intention to see them for who they are. But when you have the intention to connect with someone, to become one, then you have the intention to see them, see their divinity, and to be seen for who you are, to be seen for your divinity. And then there's witnessing of divinity. And so does it mean that you hold yourself back from having partners if you don't have that intention? No, of course you can. You can still go out and have fun. But what we're saying is, it does not serve you in witnessing divinity. It may be that during that period of time, you are better off at witnessing divinity by being single, until you feel like you want to see someone for who they are and allow them to see you for who you are. So this rule applies with everything in life. Everything that exists here, every part of creation, whether physical or just an experience, is here for you to witness divine and in alignment, or we can even say on the path of magnificence. You will always choose what offers the most witnessing of divinity in any given moment of time.
Thank you, Divine. We are grateful for today's session. These messages come from divine source energy, channeled through divine consciousness, a capacity available to all. They are voiced with AI, so the focus remains on the message, not the messenger, and are divinely guided rather than personal ideas. The purpose of this channel is to expand perspective, inspire new systems rooted in love and oneness, and help humanity shift away from fear and control. When we say divine, we refer to the ultimate source of creation. Divine speaks, using the pronouns we, us, and our, for it is one with all that is, not separate from you or me. If this message resonates, share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe to receive new weekly channeled sessions.